Okay, this is for section 9.5. Well, I'm still started from the 9 because it is also related to the visualization on the maps. Well, and in this part, this small part, we want to talk about polygons. And what are polygons? Okay, let's see a small example. Well, I'm creating a function, and then using this function, I'm able to create a curve. Okay, and next part, what we want to do is, how about we want to get the area of the shaded of this shade, and from the A to B underneath the curve. Or this, we can say, what is the area of this polygon, right? So how do we define this polygon? So for example, we want to have the A as 2 and B as a 9. Okay, A as 2 and B as 9. So the first point, A, is going to be 2, 0, right? And then how about this B? And this B is 9, 0, correct? And then, well, let's try to divide from 2 to 9 into many small parts with the 0.01 as a step size. So we're going to do 2, 2.01, 2.02, 2.03, etc. And then we increase, and then all the way to 8.99 and then 9.00. Okay, and then for each of the x value, and then we want to send the x value to this function, so we got the y values. And then we really have a group of the points. So we started from the 2, 0, which is point A, and then if we go up, we got this 270, and this is this point. And then we move right by 0.01, and then we got 2.01, and then the y value also got increased a little bit, so we got 70, 20, 22, 91 something. Okay, and then if we just have all those dots one by one, a lot of the dots on this curve. And then eventually we want to stop here. So 9.99, and then we got 133 something, and then it should be very close to 9, and then 9, and then I got a 0, which is here. And then we go back to 2, 0, and then we got this polygon closed. Right? So after joining all those dots, and what do we have? We have a polygon. So what is polygon? A polygon, if we want to define a polygon as a data structure in Python, what is that? That is a group of the x, y coordinates. If we join all the dots one by one, and then eventually it will close. In this process, by joining all the dots, and then we got a polygon, right? So a polygon is nothing but just a group of the dots. We join them together, we got a polygon because it will close eventually. Okay, and then the point I'm trying to make is, if you have a polygon, if you define a polygon, it could be a state, it could be a country, or it could be the size of a lake. As long as it is something defined using a polygon, there should be a way that we read in this polygon, and then we can visualize that polygon, right? Okay, and what's that? Well, in the CartoPy, that's called the shape reader. Okay, well, and before I show another example, and let me just go through some of the things here. I'm trying to use a group of the colors, and if you see them, and that is a group of the RGB value, red, green, blue, and another RGB value, and eventually I did a divided by 255 at the end. So all those values, they are the RGB values from 0 to 255, but after dividing a 255, and then all the RGB values will be from 0 to 1. And after that, I create a iteration rule, iteration tool, and then I want to do a cycle. And well, this will be a earth color generator. So every time I do a next earth color, and then it will give me a random earthy color from this group. Okay, every time I do next earth color, and then it will give me a new color. Well, and there are a total of 5 colors, and I'm hoping that when I'm using those random colors to paint country after country and after country, there won't be a lot of the neighboring countries they share the same color. It's not guaranteed, but excuse me, I'm hoping that there won't be a lot of colors, a lot of the neighbors they use the same color. Okay, and after that I want to create a country shape record reader. Okay, well, those are the things built in CarloPy. So if you don't have that, and then you are going to do a download, and CarloPy will do that by itself, so you don't have to worry about that. For example, like this one, I have already downloaded a bunch of the data to my Jupyter, my Dive server, and then let's see what are inside. Well, first, if we want to print a whole country, and then you are going to see a big chunk of information. So, well, this is a big chunk of information. But inside, if you want to look into that, and I can figure out this country is Fiji, and Fiji is kind of a small island on in Pacific, the east side to Australia. Okay, well, but there are really a lot of the features. And one thing I want to remind you is, okay, this one. This is a multi-polygon. Why it is a multi-polygon? A multi-polygon means it's not just one polygon. It could be multiple polygons. Why? Because Fiji is a island, or Fiji should be a group of islands, right? So island after island, and as we discussed, a polygon should be a closed shape. But if we have multiple islands, and then there are going to be multiple closed polygons. Okay, so this is just one thing. We do have a polygon here, and after that we have a bunch of other information, and let me highlight a few things. The country, we have the attribute name, so that will be the name of this country, and then I'm showing that it's Fiji. Oops. Okay, and then, well, the next thing, ISO A3, that is the standard abbreviation of the country's name using 3 letters, and that is quite common if you have loading a data set, and then if they're not using the full name of the countries, well, it's very likely that they are going to use the ISO A3 using 3 letters to represent a country. Well, this will save us a lot of trouble. And for example, if you use China, well, you may have a data set just using China, or you may have another set calling China p.r.china, and well, this p.r.china is a abbreviation for the People's Republic of China. Why? Because there is also a Republic of China. Okay, well, and anyhow, using those 3 letters could save us a lot of trouble. And then if we can have the GDP data, and then we can also see what continent this country belongs to, and that is Oceania. Okay, and this is a really cool data because we have the polygons, and after we have the polygons, the next goal will be how about we use the polygons to plot the countries, all the countries on the earth. Okay, and then I'm gonna load all the countries one by one, and for each country I'm gonna grab the polygon and then plot the polygon, and using a random color we can generate from our group of 5 colors. Okay, so well, I'm going to iterate through the country, and for each of the country, and I'm going to try to plot the polygon, and then you see for the color, I'm using the next parentheses earth color. So I'm grabbing a random color for the current country I'm plotting, and then I move on to the next country. Okay, so this is what I'm going to get. And well, before we move on to the next example, the next example, I'm going to show the state borders, and I will show you how limited the state border data we have on CartoPy. Okay, well, here are some of the states in Brazil, and then I'm trying to load the state shape. So, well, I'm loading the polygons for the states, all the states that CartoPy built in. Okay, and after I load all the states or the province shapes, well, the first thing I want to see is how about for each of the states or the province, let's just print the name. Let me see how many names do I have. And well, if you plot the names and you see there are some of the states, well, not really belong to the United States, right? And I could see the first couple of them, they should belong to Australia. And then we scroll down, and there are some of the states belongs to Brazil. And then I move on, and there are some of the provinces I have no idea. And eventually, at the end, I started to see a really big collection of the states in the United States. Okay, if you want to count them, probably there are less than 200 of the states province in the world. Not impressive, not impressive at all, right? Okay, and then, well, by understanding that, the next task is I want to plot all the state borders in Brazil. And another rule is, remember here I have a subset of the states in Brazil. And if the current state I'm trying to plot is one of the states in this list, and then I want to use a different color. So the rule is, well, if the current state I'm plotting is in this list, I'm using the dark orange, and otherwise, if that's not a state on the list, I'm using the light gray. Okay, and then by plotting all the states, and then I will get this. Well, and you may have a question: how do I plot all the states in Brazil? Because it seems that I'm plotting all the states in the list here. So I'm not just plotting all the states in Brazil, but all the states we have in this data set. So why on earth I only see the states in Brazil? And this is the trick. I put the limitation on the longitude and the latitude. So even though in the outside of Brazil, there are more states plotted and then colored, we don't see that because that is the range of the latitude and longitudes. Okay, well, I try to tweak that so we only see the state borders of Brazil. Okay, so anyhow, this is what I want to show you for the 9.5, and then in 9.6, well, that will be again a small lecture. I'm going to show you another cool tool you can use if you want to have a high resolution of the map. So I will see you in the next lecture. Bye.